Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
So now, fast forwarding after that, was well, specifically, if you could describe what it is that you do and what that entails in the job that you do currently that your doctorate's got you.
Yeah, so as a physical therapist, I'm part of that rehabilitation process for surgeries, injuries. It could be something as simple as rolling your ankle or spraining your calf, you're tearing your Achilles, messing up your shoulder, neck pain, back pain. I treat about 15 patients a day. Just give them, I really educate them a lot on what their body deficits are at this point, and try to educate and propose a plan that may be getting them better, or at least to the certain level that they were at before they came to see, a PT. But at least get them to a spot where they can function like before, or for me, I like to always push my patients more. So I like to get you above that level. It's definitely involved with that one-on-one education. That's one of the biggest things. Teaching people how to lift, how to understand, mechanics of the lifts, or time under tension, overloading, nutrition sometimes. But I'm not a nutritionist, so I don't try to dive into that too much. I just tell them my own experience with it, and that does help. We do a lot. Like, we have to interact with a person in front of you. Sure, there are therapists that just focus on their laptop and they're just like this, and you can be talking to me, but I'm just here.
Right.
What good is that? How do you think that patient is really going to feel about the interaction with their PT? It's going to be trash, right? So we're physical therapists, but in a sense, we treat everything. It could be the body. We can help lift people's spirits by just showing them, hey, you were here one day or day one, and then now you're here, which could be a huge change. It could be a little change, but you know what? It's a change to the right direction.
Well, they say that the physical is part of the mental. If you don't physically feel good, mentally, you're probably not going to feel great either. Did it surprise you? Because I've noticed, and this is the one thing that we kind of, it's cool that we also are now working in the same field not the same field. I'm doing the repairs for your field. Yeah. I'm the technician on the equipment that you guys work on. So one of the things that I've noticed, and this is me just kind of eavesdropping, I hear the difference in when somebody walks in and they're hurting and the mood they're in compared to when they leave. Or maybe sometimes they have bad sessions and they're just in a bad mood the whole time. How has it changed the way that has it changed your patience with people in general? Because I imagine you probably need quite a bit of patience to handle people in different moods, because you're probably not getting people happy when they first get to you.
Oh, that would be amazing, but no, it's not always like that.
So how do you manage people who come in, being upset? And
well, I think you really got to try to just explain to them, why their body may be feeling this way and why they may be interpreting it a certain way, right? So keeping things objective in a sense, like, hey, or just trying to explain like some of the mechanisms and like how our body interprets pain, right? Because there's an analogy that I use commonly, and I think probably a lot of PTs or people that are trained in pain science, where your mental health is definitely going to be correlated with your physical health, right? Because if you mentally just block out or say you can't do something, you won't.
Yeah.
Right? But you can obviously keep pushing physically, but if you don't understand it mentally, then you're just going through the motion too. So that's not good either.
Yeah.
Right. The challenge with the patients that are usually in a bad mood or struggling to just find a sense of calmness and, be okay is just the fact that no one has actually taken the time to explain to them what they may be going through.
Mm.
And not to say that we always know what they're going through. Everyone
Right.
is different, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing about this field too. Like right now I may have like 5 patients that have a knee injury, same knee injury, but different way it happened. Some may be progressing faster than others, slower. Maybe one had a re-injury, and it does challenge you to make sure that you take a step back and just kind of look at it and be like, hey, just present them the facts, why their body may be presenting it. And then they actually do find a sense of just like, hey, you know what? I didn't think about it that way.
Right.
Thank you for actually sitting down with me and
Yeah.
explaining what I'm possibly feeling.
Yeah.
So it's challenging, but it's also rewarding on that other end.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine based off of like just what I've seen, is the people that come in, it's you're not just fixing, you're not just addressing body parts, you're addressing human beings, and those people come in, maybe that's like the 10th thing that's happened to them, and sometimes it can be difficult, and that's in any whether you work retail or food or whatever.
For sure.
You don't know what people are going through, and when they show up, and so one of the things that I've had to learn is to be more patient.
Mm-hmm.
For you, how do you feel like that's something that you've learned there, or has this something that you've already had, or what have you learned from being a physical therapist?
Yeah, the patient's key or aspect is vital in being a good physical therapist in general, or a good human being. Honestly, I feel like if they're a good physical therapist, they're likely a good human being. Because we like to say we leave everything at work, but things always do cross over.
Yeah.
Right? Your traits are always going to blend wherever you're at, and that's just how you go about life. You're going to grow and you're going to develop differently. But it's something that you want to make sure that you understand that patience is just not going to be simple. And you gotta take a step back and be like, all right, how are they presenting? How do I help address that? And then, maybe they don't get it on the first point, because not everyone's the same type of learner. You got visual learners, you got auditory, and you got the ones that have to do it, right? So everyone learns differently, and you just have to understand that, hey, just because it didn't work the first time, all right, you got to try it a different way. But you got to make sure you're reflecting on your own self to actually implement and utilize some patience.